think we are streaming? Question mark. Just going to the studio. Here we go. Live. It says connect
Oh, we're
streaming
doing it live.
software to go live.
Doing it live.
No, we are. We're live.
All right.
15 seconds in. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Amsterdam War Gaming. Been a
Hello,
little.
hello.
It's been a little while.
It's
Um,
been it's been a while.
you're here today with me, Chris the Panda,
Yes, sir.
and El Rubinator.
That's me. I love my new nickname, by the way. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
How've you been, Chris?
I've been all right.
What have you
Uh,
been up to?
well, you may remember from our last podcast back on July the 11th that we were talking about the fresh incoming data from 10th edition.
Yep.
I've actually been playing some more games.
Oh, really?
Went to a little thing called the WTC.
Oh, what's that?
It's just a small little team tournament hosted in Belgium where 36 or something of the world's best teams, filled with
Mm,
the world's best players, go to play 40k and drink a load of beer.
mm, mm,
Pretty good.
mm.
Pretty good.
So it's a subtle way of complimenting yourself.
Thank you very much. Timonel did very well. Came in ninth. One position lower than last year. However, there was like 8
12,
more
12 more teams.
teams. 12 more teams. There's many
Wasn't
more.
it 24 last year?
Yeah, let's go with yes.
Yes. That's
Um,
it's so much better.
there was definitely some more teams than last year. We actually had our best run, only losing one game, which was our final game against Australia.
Mm.
But the rest we either won or drew. But a magnificent run of draws right in the middle. We like won
See,
two, then drew
you guys had three
four.
draws, right?
Yeah, yeah, 3 wins, 3 draws, and a loss.
Quite a lot, because what was the point difference in what was the point difference you needed in order to get a win?
Against Australia. Oh, against in the
No, no,
draws.
just in general. Like, what does it take to get a draw?
A draw. So, for those that don't know, the point scoring for WTC is a little bit different. It's run on differential. So, the bigger your differential, the higher points you score. It starts off as a 10-10, which is anywhere, which is like a draw. So, between 5 points difference between your scores is 10-10 counts as a draw. If
Right.
there's if you get 20 zeros, that's obviously a much larger differential. I won't go into too much detail about it here, but in a round of 18 players, 8 team players, that is not 18. The 18 would be epic teams, wouldn't it?
That'd be a cool
Very
team.
epic. No,
No one would have to argue over a spot on the team,
right?
right?
It'd be there. Yeah, so if you score between 75 and 85 over all 8 players, then that counts as a draw. And I think on several of them, we got like 83s, 82s. Um, so yeah, we did pretty well.
Yeah,
Pretty well.
nice. Now, I would love to ask you what were your biggest takeaways, but by now they're quite irrelevant because there's been a daily slate.
Yeah. Also, my biggest takeaways never change. It's always Thai. I love pad Thai.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, great. That's funny.
Thank you.
Do you want me to laugh?
No,
Oh, okay, cool.
it's better if you don't.
So you play Custodes at the WTC,
I
correct?
did. I did play Custodians. Yeah, they were
Right.
very, very powerful. Um, I did really well in all of my games except for the last one, which was against this Australian geezer Liam Hackett and his Necrons, and I completely misread the list. I assumed that I would roll over it fairly easily, and in fact, it did the reverse to me.
Hmm.
Certainly did.
You came back quite excited about that list, though.
I did, yeah, I did. And then the data slate happened, and the meta changed, and some of the
Right.
bigger dogs are now really good into that list.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think it's it's a solid gatekeeper list. You'll see it in several tournaments probably, and either you have the tools to deal with it or you don't. Essentially, it's 40 Necron warriors, reanimation barge, a reanimator, a CCB. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it gives your guys OC3. Illuminor Seras, who makes you ignore AP or reduces AP by 1 and increases your AP by 1.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of like tech pieces and.
So,
yeah.
What? Just out of interest, what appealed to you about that list?
Oh God, how oppressive it is! That it doesn't necessarily kill things, although it can, but it just stops you doing anything. Stops your opponent doing anything. If it's played well, it can really envelop what's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
So, back to your faction then, Custodes.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that currently you're not painting them right now.
No, I'm
away from Custodes.
Working on some converting my old Chaos Lord and Chaos Sorcerer and Jump Pack back to the talents I initially made them from.
So you moved away from Custodes. Is that because loads changed during the data slate?
Oh, Custodes got a big ol' hit. They they took nerfs to their stratagems, so now you can no longer make their fight first stratagem free, which was a big part of how they played.
Right.
And also the squad sizes changed, so you went from max 10 in a Custodian Guard blob to max 5, max 6 in a Warden blob to max 5. That's not a huge difference, but there was of course points increases to go with all of this. So now we've got to look at different ways to play, and I've still been testing them a little bit. I'll still try them out. I still think there is game there, but they're a very, very different faction to what they were when I played them.
Right. Well, I mean, so is the way of the data slate, right?
Yeah, for most armies. Yeah. And you, what have you been up to since our last podcast?
So I've been trying a lot of GSC, which also changed ever so slightly because of the data slate.
Yeah.
Just teeny tiny changes. Now, I think it's fair to say that GSC took a big old hit in the nose as well. I mean, their squad size didn't change, which is
that's good.
Yeah, it's a bonus, I guess. But of course, their points changed. Like, I think the list I used to run went up 300 points or so, which is great.
Yeah.
So I played over at ABB last weekend, Amsterdam Battle Brothers, a little local tournament we had over here.
Yeah.
And I think I haven't finished as low as I did last weekend in quite a while. I ran GSC, almost a similar list to my previous one, just taking out a few bits and bobs.
Mm-hmm.
Figured give Gene Stealers themselves pure strains a little run to see how they fare. It turns out they're not great. And what I found to be one of the biggest influencers on the whole GSC spiel is the fact that you cannot do strats anymore with the table guide, or at least anything but battle tactics.
Yeah.
Because not being able to deep strike 2 units on 3 inches, or not being able to pull up 3 units back into deep strike, that sort of stuff. Not being able to make 2 units lone ops anymore. All those sort of strats really make a big dent into how GSC play, I think. The output's still amazing.
Yeah.
But as I said, like, you need to get your units there, so that changed a little bit, which sucks for them.
But what about that fantastic list, that really fun-looking list that you sent me like 2 days after list deadline?
Oh yeah, that was great. Yeah, don't you love it when a list deadline's up and you hand in your list, and then like minutes after you think of a way cooler list that might actually outperform the one you just uploaded?
Yeah, it would have been much better, I think.
I think so. Yeah. It was just buggies to get your demo charges there, so you weren't relying on those 3 and sleep strikes as much.
Checks out.
Which in hindsight would have been pretty useful, but hey ho, that's 2020, isn't it?
Hindsight is
So
always 2020.
yeah. Luckily for me, my other main faction, Tyranids, got a big ol' upgrade.
Did
Um,
they?
oh, I'd say so. I'd say
Big,
so.
big old upgrade.
Yeah, because they got like 5 more detachments than most people have.
Mm, that is. You would say that's an upgrade. Are any of them better than the first one though?
Define better, because I don't. Yeah, see how I turn
It's
around that question.
tough, right?
Yeah, no, I don't know if they're better because I think Invasion Fleet is definitely one of the top two, top three maybe.
Yeah, I tend to agree there.
Um, so you have your Vanguard Onslaught, which is a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of fun to play. I've played like 1 or 2 games with him.
Yeah.
Um, a tricky army, but I think that is the detachment that gets you the most diverse kind of lists um, in terms of the shenanigans you can pull with it.
Yeah, because you can deep strike turn one. You can
Yeah,
have all
exactly.
the stuff in the midfield early on. You can be hyper aggressive with it if you want to be.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have the redeploy after deployment.
Oh, that's cheeky.
Yeah, it's pretty cheeky. Making units lone ops, making your lone ops even better lone ops, that sort of stuff.
Well, you already have the best lone ops in the game
You do,
with
you
your
do.
with your Neurolictors.
Mm, mm. So yeah, I'd say Nid's got an upgrade. I think their upgrade will pale in comparison to the upgrade we'll see next week,
With
which
the Codex Space Marines.
mm,
Yeah, it's going to be a big one, I think.
yeah, I think that will impact 10th in a
There's
great way.
already some really, really gross lists floating about.
Yep.
Um, yeah, we won't go into that into too much detail.
No, we'll save it for next time.
We'll save that for
But
next time.
also because we don't have points yet. But
Mm,
yeah, I don't know. And I do have to say I'm not as excited as I am normally when one of my main codexes drop.
all right.
Uh, and I think that mainly has to do with the fact that I'm a little bummed out that GW decided not to really update any of the data sheets.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's going to be a recurring theme for
Yeah, and
10th.
I think that's kind of a shame, especially for the people who are like they I think they did a roadmap for 2023 and the first half of 24, I think,
Yeah,
where they preview like 6 or 7 factions.
definitely some codexes. I remember CSM is there, Tau's there.
Yeah, or
The other Chaos faction, Dark Angels,
you keep repeating that joke, Chris.
because it's a good joke.
Yeah, repetition is key.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, it's so those armies will get their codexes pretty soon. However, it's the same as in, for instance, eighth, where you're just playing with an index until your codex dropped.
That was great though. Index Hammer was great back then.
Yeah, it was. You know why? Because everything got revamped, everything got renewed. So your data sheets, your army rules, everything. Whereas now you already know, like if you're looking at, I don't know, um, name me an army, Thousand Sons. Did that get a new codex this year? No, I
No,
don't think so.
no.
So if you're playing Thousand Sons, you already know what your army is gonna look like in terms of data sheets, and I think that's just kind of a shame.
There might be some slight changes. There's bound to be some changes, like the
Sure, some
Tyrannofex,
slight changes, but
Tyrannofex losing -1 damage.
sorry.
The Tyrannofex losing -1 damage. That
Yeah, but that I think that
that
would
was
be
great for
the
everyone.
biggest change that the Tyranid data sheets saw in their overall from the data cards into a codex,
Yeah.
and it's just a little bit of a shame, if you get a new codex after a year and a half of waiting or so, and then the only thing you get to look forward to is browsing through your units, that is those minor changes that might impact them.
But do you not like the fact that if you've purchased a set of data cards, like I've got some somewhere, that they won't be completely out of date? You'll just have to change a little bit of them. Do you not think that's fantastic?
That is super fantastic. You know what's even better?
What?
I'll do a little marketing for G Dubs here, but then reverse marketing. But if you get your new set of data cards, whereas with the index cards, let's call them that, when you got those, you got all your rules.
Yeah.
With this, you don't get your detachment rules, you don't get your stratagems or your enhancements, and you don't get your code. So it's really just for easy reference, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice having those cards next to the table, so
Oh
you can
yeah.
look at stuff, your opponent can look at stuff, everything's nice
Yep.
and open.
Yep, that's great, but I don't really see the added value of spending 20 or so bucks.
Well, it means you're paying GW money, and they like that.
Well, I'm already paying them enough money, Chris.
How many Norns did you buy?
3
Hmm,
rookie numbers, I know.
yeah. Should have
Rookie.
bought.
I started out with 4, but then I was like,
Yeah,
I was hoping that the simulator would be a little bit better.
I think one is maybe enough.
For the Norns,
One might even be too many.
I think 1's too many, and if you want to play him, go for 2.
Yeah.
That sentence doesn't hold up, but still.
Are you saying that because you've got 2 for sale?
No. Got 3 for now.
Nice.
No, I mean, I feel that 1, your opponent can either ignore or just, harass the entire game without it really performing,
Or just kill it.
or just kill it. I feel that with 2, it becomes really annoying for your opponent.
But doesn't it also then become really annoying for you because you have, 300 points less stuff?
What do you mean 300 points less stuff?
Because you've invested those 300 points in a Norn.
Yeah, so you've invested it in stuff.
Yeah, but less stuff. So you have less relevant things.
It's big stuff, Chris. Big
Yeah.
stuff.
But for a Norn, you could also get, 3 Neurolictors and then like 3 other Lictors. And
But
then
those are already in your list, so
9, and then like 9 Pyrovores.
yeah, something like that. I suppose so. I suppose. No, I'm not saying the Norn Emissary is relevant.
You heard it here first, folks. Norn Emissary. Meta coming straight up.
I mean, you were saying that you expect Nits to get a points drop.
I am expecting Nids to get a points drop, yes.
Why?
Nothing crazy, just like a little bit, because I think some of your big monsters are just a little bit too expensive. Just a tiny bit. Like the Norn, for example, should be much cheaper, like at least 30 or 40 points cheaper.
Yep.
And then things like your Maliceptors and your Exo Queens, I think you could say are fairly priced, but I could see them dropping 10, 20 points, something like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did, because that's what I noticed so far with Nids, is that it's quite easy to get bogged down. And then your Maliceptor with its massive sighting talents can produce a whopping 6 attacks like max.
Yeah.
Like we played a game with Death Guard versus Nids,
Mm-hmm.
and then 10 cultists basically held up a Maliceptor the entire game.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah. I did cheat in that game actually. The Nurgling's -1 to hit thing doesn't affect monsters and vehicles.
Just keeping up expectations and standards, right? There you go.
Gotta keep cheating.
There you go. So yeah, I know Nids. I think they're cool. But currently I'm also looking into Orcs and Guard, and I'm still dabbling with GSC.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little bit of an army limbo at the moment.
Fair.
Yeah. So
it's difficult, isn't it? Difficult.
Yeah, a little bit.
What to go for.
Luckily,
CSM are really good, and I had everything needed for the CSM meta list at the minute, just lying around in my house. So
it's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, that's what I love about investing into a couple of armies rather than trying to collect all of them. So
Because eventually, yeah,
at some point, you'll just have to grab 5 minis or so, finish those up, and you got yourself a meta-ready army.
it's pretty sweet. I gotta admit,
Chase it.
pretty sweet.
So CSM, tell us what's the hot take on CSM at the moment?
Chosen and Lords are real good.
Yeah,
Real good.
what is that?
Cheap, advanced and charge. They hit pretty well. They can trade up. They can punch well above their weight. At the tournament the other day, they were talking about Saturday. I had a unit of 5 chosen and a lord charge into 2 war dogs. Killed them both.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Pretty nice.
Solid.
And yeah, it's 185 points for the unit, so 110 for the chosen, 75 points for the lord. And of course, because he's a lord, you can do a free strat. So you do the free full rerolls to hit and wound.
It's a battle tactic.
Yep.
Nice.
And yeah, he goes Super Saiyan once per game, and he alone will kill a war dog usually. And then,
Do you go around carrying a little tiny yellow wig for him to just prop on his head?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
it's mandatory, isn't it?
It is. You have to. So yeah, they're really good. Forge Fiends are real good. Obliterators are pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Obliterators are my least favorite because they kill the things. Like if they want to kill something, they usually overkill it.
Right.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but as soon as you split, they don't kill anything.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Yeah. So you need the full unit to kill something, but then you also kind of don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And also their shots are quite swingy. Like their big shots are strength 12, AP 3, flat 4 damage with melter 2. So in 12 inches they're 6 damage. But they're D3 shots. It's just D3.
Okay.
So you just roll. Occasionally you just roll 2 shots.
So at least blast.
And they're nope. And they're hitting on 3s. So the undivided unit you can give full rerolls to. The Nurgle unit gets exploding 5s, but yeah.
Yeah, because you always play like one undivided, one Nurgle unit. Is that correct?
Yeah. That's the way I think. You could go all undivided, but you can only use the strat once, aside from the lords. So it's usually better to hedge your bets, and sustained on 5s is real nice.
Sweet. Pretty sweet.
Yep.
So you said you're building warp talons right now. What's that then?
No, I already have 13 warp talons built and painted, but I had to take my lord and jump pack sorcerer, who have been legends for a while, and cut their arms off and make them back into warp talons.
Right.
So that they can be used. So I now have 15, so I can do 3x5 warp talons, which I think is nice. You give them Marcus Slanesh, and in combat they get sustained on 5s. They can advance and charge for 1 CP. Like they're a nice little utility unit. They'll go and clear some chaff in the midfield.
Okay.
On Saturday, a unit of I had 4 guys left. They went and finished off the last, I think, 3 wounds on a war dog. So they're all right.
Those weren't the guys that charged the whirlwind, were they?
No, that was my big squad of 10 chosen. Oh, that was funny. I was playing against Brian on what's the corner deployment called? Crucible of Battle or something?
Corner deployment. That's what.
Corner deployment with the 18-inch circle in the middle.
Right.
Well, of course, the 2 corners of that circle are actually much closer than 18 inches.
Yeah.
So I put my Rhino right up on the tip of one, and he put all of his guys, 3 whirlwinds, 5 infiltrators with a Phobos librarian, and then a 10-man Deathwatch kill team, all crammed up against the wall of this ruin. And I get out my Rhino, and disembark 3, move 6. I advanced. I think I got a 5 or 6, and so then all of a sudden, I'm like 6 inches away or within six. I'm within 7 of the wall of this ruin. And I say to
Yeah.
Brian, I'm like, you're not up against the wall of that ruin. He's like, yeah, I'm right up against the wall. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll charge those veterans then. Of
Well.
course, yeah. Roll a 6, and then that, as they say, is that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Mm.
Right. Okay.
Took home favorite opponent though. That was
Oh.
the last one.
Look at you go.
Yeah.
It's Amsterdam Wargaming taking home the favorite opponents left, right, and center.
It's the best trophy, right?
It is.
Really
And
is.
you'd almost think that we're likable people.
Almost.
So, what are you prepping your CSM for now?
Don't know. Oh, next week it's a Feast of Blades GT.
Right?
But as you mentioned that, let's do a couple of plugs.
Let's. Subtle.
Yeah. So for everyone watching at home, go check out Rotten Hammer. They do a bunch of cool tournaments down in Rotterdam, hence the name Rotten Hammer. And also in The Hague now, I think.
Yeah.
They do the
North Sea Slam.
North Sea Slam, yeah. Go check them out. You can check them out on IG. Search for Rotten Hammer. Other social medias, Facebook.
Yes. And then in November we have the AOGT, which is also promising to be a good one.
Yeah, you're going with a bunch of guys. I can't make it, unfortunately. Got some family commitments that weekend.
Yeah, the rest of the squad will be there though. Trying to hype up the good name of AO, trying to bring back that sportsmanship award.
Faux show.
Faux show.
What are you, sorry, carry on.
No. No, it's going to be a fun one. It's always good to go there. They always do the same venue over at Schiphol, which is a great venue, and
we were there.
It's always a fun weekend, man.
Yeah,
always have fun over there.
When we were there for the teams a couple of weeks ago. That was good
fun. Yeah.
Weren't able to bring home the top finish, but got pipped at the post round 5.
Round 4 actually.
Was it round 4?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We lost round 4 to to Aaron and his boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
I mean, it was pretty close, right?
Yeah, no, it was. It was a fun tournament for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And they said that maybe next year they'll do 6-man tournaments.
Fingers crossed.
That'd be grand.
It'd be good. Definitely good. We'll be down there. We'll be down there again for sure, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
for sure.
For sure.
But yeah, check them out. Alliance Open on IG, Facebook, social medias. You'll see them. We tag them sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah. Check that
out.
Check out Rotten Hammer. Check out those guys.
Check them all out.
Yeah.
Just check out the Dutch scene.
Speaking of the Dutch scene.
Yeah, what do you think? I was just about to ask you, because we're so good at these segues, man. We're getting like all profesh. But what do you think is most prevalent in the Dutch meta at the moment?
Yeah, so on the top tables, in the Dutch meta scene, we're currently seeing, I think, things like Chaos Knights, Grey Knights, floating around everywhere. Maybe not necessarily the top, but I'm certain you'll almost certainly play a Grey Knights army at some point in the Netherlands, because everyone and their mums collects Grey Knights over here. Space Marines.
Yeah.
Big old.
Especially now with the new codex dropping.
Yeah, this new codex is going to be huge for them, I think. I wonder if we'll still see Land Raider Redeemers and Deathwing Knights.
To be very honest, I hope that we'll see Land Raiders remain on the tabletop. Deathwing Knights, I don't care about as much. I wouldn't be too bothered if they wouldn't make a reappearance on the table.
Yeah, because GSC don't kill them very well, do they?
I think it's just such a boring unit. Yeah.
Um,
And GSC don't kill them very well either. No, you're right.
that's the main thing, right? That's the main
Yeah,
thing.
100%.
I think there's quite a few CSM players as well, so I wouldn't be surprised seeing CSM because they're very, very powerful at the minute.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of builds. There's the triple chosen build. There's like chosen blocks. There's also the Terminator and Abaddon build. That's significantly more expensive. You're paying 700 points for a unit, but that unit does a lot of stuff.
Mm.
And yeah, what else? What else do you think we're seeing? Tyranids are not too high, I think.
No, there's not too many Tyranid players in the Dutch tournament scene. Custodians still remain at large.
Yeah, still floating about, surprisingly.
Yeah, but that's just because we have a lot of Custodians fans.
And they're also dirt cheap to have an army.
100%. Guard, you still see a couple of guard players.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Guard creeping up a little bit. They came out quite nicely out of the data slate. They dropped a lot of points. They're still fairly strong.
Yeah.
The artillery is still pretty impressive if you want to build fully for it.
Yeah.
What else? I'm just looking around at my shelves. What else is good? Demons are rubbish. Let's not talk about them. Death
How about your sisters?
Sisters are all right.
Oh.
I can see a very good position for sisters in teams.
Okay.
Less so in singles. I think they don't have the depth to play against everything.
Right.
Unfortunately, they're not very killy. They have one really killy unit with Varl and the Paragons, but it's expensive. And once it gets there and kills something, it then dies immediately, which is a shame. What else?
Thousand Suns. Although we don't have that many Thousand Sun players in the Netherlands.
Oh, they took a bit of a beating as well, didn't they, in the old slate?
Kinda.
Yeah. Points increases.
Yeah, as we were just mentioning, orcs, like, funnily enough, I think we have quite a few people who have orcs.
Yeah.
But not a lot of people playing them competitively.
Shame. I think orcs are in a fantastic spot right now.
That's why I'm picking them up. I want to try them out.
Yeah, they're very fairly pointed.
Yeah. Because I was making a list, and I was quite surprised as to see how much stuff goes into it.
You get a lot of stuff. 6 whole trucks and like 3 big tracks.
Or loads of other stuff.
Sponsored by
Orcs.
Yeah, I think orcs are really good. Their characters, they've got some really good, strong characters like Mosroggy, Roggington, the Mosrog.
That's his name.
Yeah, he's big bad boy, real tough to kill. The Squighog boys are also a really tough unit.
Yeah,
and there's whole depth to that codex that has not been explored because loads of boys in trucks has just been the way since WTC, really.
Nothing really changed for that list in the data slate, did it?
I think it went up a few points. I think big tracks went up a few points. Trucks went up like 5 points or something.
Oh, okay.
There was no crazy changes. I think the biggest change was the War Boss. No, not the War Boss. The Beast Boss.
Yeah.
I think he went up a bunch of points.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I haven't really been following orcs, which is a shame because I've nearly had an orc army twice since 8th edition.
Right.
Bought all the models, had them in grey plastic. They stayed in grey plastic, and then I sold them all again.
Fair enough. It's the way it goes sometimes, right?
It is. You have these fantastic ideas of these huge hobby projects that you want to get involved in.
EdMag.
Listen, they're coming along just fine, I tell you.
How many models have you built already?
How many had I built in December? Was it 3 breaches, I think?
Oof.
Yeah.
Keep up that pace.
I haven't
by the time you retire.
I haven't actually changed. I haven't built any more in the last 10 months. So.
You're just hoping that those tiny little robots you made are just gonna produce tiny little robots themselves.
Exactly. I'm also hoping that when the Codex comes out, I get some inspiration
Fair enough. I
because
get
their
you there.
detachment is kind of crap.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
Which is sad, but we'll
Mm,
see. We'll see.
mm.
What in the what are we seeing of Nids? We've talked about them a little bit. Do we think there's some stronger builds in there, like the Hive Nexus, Invasion Fleet, the Harvester Swarm?
The assimilation swarm. I think I'm okay. Let me rephrase this. I hope that there's something we aren't seeing in the assimilation swarm.
Is that the Griblies one? That's the one where.
No, no, that's the endless multitude swarm adorb. I don't know what it's called. You're talking about the gaunt spam
No,
detached.
I'm talking about the one where it's like the Psychophage, the Haruspex,
Yeah, that's the
Rippers.
assimilation swarm, the
Yeah, that one.
harvester thing,
Yeah, that one.
where you get models back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as I said, like I'm hoping that there's some play in there, and I'm hoping that there's like some secret juice no one has discovered yet.
Hmm. I was talking
I'm
to
not
Rude a
seeing it
bit.
though.
Yeah,
Sorry?
I was talking to Rude a bit on Saturday, and I think there must be something there because
Yeah,
there's like jank. There's play. You just build around these models. You throw a Ripper into something, and then your entire army gets +1 to wound against it and stuff like that.
yeah, it feels like there's something there.
Hmm.
It's just a shame that like there's 3 or 4 data sheets that have the harvester keyword,
Yeah. Four
which
data
already
sheets.
makes it difficult to sort of spam the ability of the detachment. And I'm not quite sure what you would make out of it. Maybe like all zone throws, which you could respawn.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of fun, I guess.
It also heals stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. So you could go monsters or whatever, and then just heal D3 wounds every turn.
Yeah. Sounds fun, right?
Yeah, I mean the enhancements aren't great though.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have an enhancement which allows a unit to regen twice per phase, per command phase. Your command phase, that is not both command phases, but
Shame.
that's not you cannot take it on a monster unit or a monster model.
Oh.
So I think the only dude who can take it is either a Bloodlord or a Tyranid Prime, a
Yeah.
Winged Prime. Now the Gene Stealers, if you're gonna go for Gene Stealers, I mean, go whatever it's called, Vanguard
Vanguard,
Sport.
Onslaught,
Yeah,
Stupid.
that's
Yeah.
the one. And the Winged Prime, I mean, it's fun reviving 2 warriors or 6 gargoyles, I guess.
Six
But if
gargoyles.
but if you're gonna go for the 6 gargoyles, just play Invasion Fleet because you just have a strat to do it.
Yeah. Is
And
that still a
reviving
battle
two.
tactic?
Sorry?
Is that still a battle tactic?
No.
Shame.
Yeah. I think Invasion Fleet has, I don't know, probably the better battle tactics
Yeah.
in the Codex. Like the Feel No Pain is just
I
a
think
sweet
that's
one
the
to be
best.
able to use twice.
I think it's the best strat you've got.
Yeah, I think so. So I don't know about the assimilation swarm. It looks really fun on paper, and I think it's an attachment where they wrote the rules from a fluffy point of view.
Hmm.
I don't see it working on the table on a competitive level.
Well,
Um,
prepare to eat your words.
oh, I'm always prepared to eat my words, Chris, because I'm hardly ever right. Uh, that's the only reason I'm doing this podcast for people to just go the opposite direction of everything I'm saying,
Yeah.
and you'll know you'll be heading in the right direction.
Oh, talking about heading in the right direction. Space Dwarfs.
Space Wars, right?
How's your
We haven't
Votan
talked
army
about them,
coming
have
along?
we?
How's your Votan army?
Yeah, I think Joseph is looking into picking them up again, and I can't blame him for from what I've heard is that the boys without knees are performing rather well after the data slate.
Turns out, dropping like 20-25% everywhere, and your whole army faction being able to do it like 4 times, real good,
Yeah, oh yeah,
real good.
surprised to hear that.
400% increase in lethality,
Mm,
and 20% decrease in points.
yep, sounds pretty solid.
That's pretty solid. So
So
if you
what
if you
is their thing again?
they have grudgement tokens.
Ah, grudgement tokens.
They're like grudging people.
Mm.
Uh, judgment tokens they call because they judge you. They put you in their book of grudges.
Ooh.
But yeah, they used to be able to pick one unit
Yeah,
at the start of the game that would get 2 judgment tokens. Those tokens give your units +1 to hit and +1 to wound,
right.
respectively. If you have one, it's +1 to hit. If you have two, it's +1 to wound.
And they were able to give one unit one of those.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
one unit, two judgment tokens. So
Okay.
that was it before. And then if they killed that unit, they got a number of CP depending on what battle round it is, and they get it in their next command phase. So if it's battle round 1, they
Yeah.
get 3 CP. Battle
Okay.
round 2, 2 CP, so on and so forth. Now being able to give 4 units to things means you're much more likely to. You could just put it on like a really easy to kill unit. But
Yeah.
hey, 3 CP, happy days.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that be the way to go then? Just putting one of those on a very cheap unit that you can kill quite quickly, and then the other three on big tough units?
Yeah, I suspect so. Because being able to give them out, it's not very common. I think you only really get to give them out when something kills one of your units, which isn't
No,
really the.
It's not as in ninth where you just stack
Yeah,
them up left, right, and center.
no, it's not. Um, it's not as they don't have as much say in it. If your opponent
Right.
kills a unit, they just get one. That's it.
Oh,
But
okay.
I think there might be an enhancement where you can like move them along or stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, you combine that with the Sagittar, which is 100-point transport. Sounds good so far, right?
Mm. Yeah.
100-point transport. It's also got a load of guns.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Sounds better already.
Yeah, it's like T10, I think, with 9 wounds.
Yeah.
Pretty good, right? 100
Pretty good.
points. Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's also got Scout 6.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Joy.
So yeah, we're seeing like 6 of them in every list, or 5 of them in every list,
Nice.
filled with troops and maybe a character, and then the big unit of Terminators. I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah, the American football players.
Yeah, those boys.
Mm.
Those boys with the bobbleheads. Because they're pretty cheap.
Okay.
And
Do they still do the Volkite thing where they do mortal wounds?
yeah, they have like they have basically 2 guns.
The grenade
Uh,
launcher and
yeah, and then either the Volkite or a plasma or something. But
right.
they when if something has 2 grudge tokens on, they have a strat for sustained 2,
Ah,
and they pump out many shots already. So they're
okay.
basically like a delete button. You deep
Oh.
strike them in somewhere, they kill something.
So why aren't we seeing them on the tabletop more?
I think it's taking a bit of time for people to get used to them. So what we were seeing in 9th edition was a lot of berserks, which is still nice little trade pieces, but they're much less effective now.
Right.
A couple of the honky tonky hecka chunk monkey chunky big buggies,
Yeah.
which I've been reliably informed are quite good. However, you pay like 100 points more for something that has like 3 more heavy bolter shots than the Sagittar
Really?
and another gun. So yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's more a case of people not having the models that are
Rather
particularly good
than
at the moment. Yeah,
yeah, okay.
yeah.
Well, that's always an issue, isn't it?
I have no doubt that the meta will catch up because they're one of those new armies. They were super popular when they came out last year.
Yeah.
Much like World Eaters, who are also now doing real good again.
Mm-hmm. As is Tau, by the way.
As is Tau, yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's really excited about that, of course.
Well, one short Amsterdamer is very excited about all three of these factions.
We're not talking about Joseph, are we?
We're not talking about Joseph, no. The other short Amsterdamer.
We have a town filled with short people.
Yep.
Are we living in the Shire?
We are.
Oh, sweet. Sweet. No, but yeah, those are three factions that are making somewhat of a comeback, aren't they?
I'm excited to try them out. I want to play them. I want to play them all. Not Tau, I hate Tau, but
Yeah, are
Votann
you
World
looking
Eaters.
to get some games in with Votann?
Oh, definitely, man. They're just running like 6 buggies around and then some big Terminator blobs. Sounds hilarious.
Fair enough. Sounds right up your alley.
Yeah. But no, I feel like we've been on a little bit of a tangent.
A little bit.
What else was on the list? Oh, 40k. Yeah, very specific.
Oh yes,
Very specific.
yes. You've made quite the strict agenda.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is our first one back for quite a while, so we just wanted to keep it loosey goosey.
It's our specialty.
As you can see, we've had one view with an average view duration of 27 seconds. Was that you?
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
No, so we're insta famous.
Somebody actually
Bothered to listen to us for 27 seconds.
bothered to check in for 27 seconds. Thank you, whoever it is.
Surprised.
Yep. Thank you, whoever that is.
Mm. So what have we got in store for the next coming weeks, Chris?
What have we got in store? Well, as I said, we've got Feast of Blades this weekend, where we'll see some armies play against each other. Should be
Yeah.
good. I'm bringing the
Yeah.
CSM. Looking forward to that.
Cool.
After that,
Who knows?
who knows? But
Is this weekend, is this a invitational ticket tournament?
yes.
For those of you listening at home and don't know what the invitational ticket tournament we're talking about is, the Dutch tournament circuit, and am I saying that right?
Oh.
Probably. Let's just assume I'm saying it right.
If they deign to sponsor us, then we'll say it right. But until then, you know,
Yeah,
whatever.
who cares? They're doing an 8-man invitational tournament on the 19th of January, and
Friday.
which is a Friday.
Yeah.
I'm streaming it. Chris is still vying for a ticket, are you not?
I am. I am trying to get a ticket.
Why are you such a keen bean on getting a ticket?
I mean, I'm not trying particularly hard. I have been to 3 total events this year, singles events this year, that is, and only one of them was an invitational ticket giveaway. So I'm not trying particularly hard. I just think it'd be fun because we're going to be streaming the full GT afterwards.
Yes, sir. Better believe it.
Yeah.
And that is the GT we're talking about now. That's the same we did last year.
Yeah.
Which is sort of the culmination or the finals of the Dutch tournament circus.
Yes. It's definitely the finals of that.
Yeah. So
if you want to be in with a chance of winning stuff, then do the thing. But as I said, until we have a sponsorship deal, let's move on. But yeah, big things coming up. Big things coming up. I mean, I'm focused mostly on WTC prep again. This year, I got voted in as one of the selection committee, so that's going to be
Oh,
fun.
how's that been going?
Oh, it's been you
Is
know.
is there anything you can tell us about that? Like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. Sorry, Ruben, you did not make the cut. I'm afraid.
Oh, bums.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Saves me
So
some money, I guess.
yeah, definitely. What's been going on? Not much really.
Okay, glad
Um,
glad to discuss this.
yeah, we're just trying to build the team. I think come January we'll have some more information because we've got the first 8-man team tournament coming up in February
Yeah.
in Poland. So we'll have, I think, an 8-man picked for that at least by uh, January, probably, maybe earlier, but I don't know. It's still early days. We only really officially started on October the 1st. Um, so we're just assessing people. I'm running some scrims at the minute for everybody in the team. We've got nearly 30 people this year, so
Is that more than previous years?
way more than previous years. Yeah, yeah.
What do you think has caused the increase of applicants?
I think the general growth in 40k and the move um, that singles, as fun as it is in my opinion, not the best way to play 40k because you know you can train as hard as you want, build the best list you've got, spend hours working on it, practicing things, and then go up into a matchup that you may not be able to win, and then that's it. Your tournament's
That's
over.
it.
You're done. You stand no chance of winning. Whereas at least with team events, you've got the pairings aspect of it, so you can build lists specifically to do things. There's like a whole game within a game. Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. So
Cool.
I try and promote WTC to everyone.
And apparently it's paying off.
Yeah, it's going well. It's going well. I hope the prospect pool continues to grow, and then we can grow the overall level of 40k in the Netherlands.
Yep. And hopefully thereby growing the overall level of 40k everywhere.
Correct, but mostly just the Netherlands because we want the Netherlands to be the best.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yep. Yep. Well, number 2, just right after Amsterdam.
Right after Amsterdam. Yeah, but unfortunately Amsterdam isn't a country and therefore
Is it not? Is it not?
enter the WTC. I mean, it might as well be, right?
It should be.
Everything
No,
inside the
I'm kidding.
ring and below the River Eye is officially Amsterdam, right?
As long as Dean's not living there, then yes.
Yeah, so it's not. Oh, funny.
No.
Oh no, we've got an average view duration has gone up to 36 seconds.
Oh wow,
But
that was
still
Dean tuning in for 11 seconds just to hear my remark and then leaving again.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye. Bye. What are you still working on, Chris?
Chosen. Building some more
Still
Chosen.
the Chosen. All
Yeah.
right.
So funny
How
enough.
many do you need to finish before Saturday?
Oh, none.
Oh, this is just bonus.
This is just me finishing a box I had lying around.
Bonus Chosen.
Yeah, I'm steadily working my way through because now CSM are good, so I'm like, oh, I've got a reason to work through my backlog of CSM.
It's fun, isn't it?
It is pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't know if I'm ever going to get around to building those 2 Helldrakes I've got in the cupboard, but maybe
Maybe
2024.
someday.
Yeah, maybe 2024 is the year of the Helldrake.
Yeah, when Flyers return.
Because I bought them way back in 8th edition after there was some tournament in. I think it was an AO tournament actually, and CSM were doing quite well, and there was a triple Lord Discordant list, and I was like, oh, I could do that. I could do that.
That?
Yeah.
And that had two Heldrakes in it?
I think so, but now they've been in the cupboard ever since.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
happens.
But
Happens to the best of them.
I think once I've built this, I've got another box of Accursed Cultists, a Dark Commune, some Terminators, and two Heldrakes, and I'm done. That's all of my
Right,
CSM built.
right. And that's when you'll retire from Warhammer then?
Yeah. I mean, the chances of me finishing that before I switch factions are very, very slim.
Hmm.
Yep, very, very
Hmm.
slim.
Fair enough. I
Oh my God, CJ! It's CJ. He just
Hey,
texted me saying, "Why is chat turned off for the stream?" I don't know, CJ. This is the first I'm hearing of this. And I turn chat on. It's a lot more than 27 seconds. Oh, somebody else is also.
people have been trying to reach us for
Two
about an
views.
hour.
Stream settings. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Oh, is it customization here? Live chat is disabled for this video. Learn more.
Aside from shooting shit about Warhammer, folks, we also do live tutorials. Um,
Chat's been turned off for the whole stream. Oh, Thomas for coin. Thanks,
There you go.
Thomas. Good to know that chat's been turned off for the whole stream. Now, when we're just about to finish the stream. But thank you very much. It's great to have this feedback.
Great feedback.
I
Great
can't
feedback.
I can't turn it on, I'm afraid.
No, I think you need to do that at the beginning.
Mm.
It's great going, Chris. You ruined it. You ruined everything. Have you fixed it?
Yeah, I think I fixed it. I've turned live chat on.
All right.
But I don't know where to see the live chat.
Hmm.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Can you
Done.
see something? Someone
Three
say
views
something?
now. Look at this, 3 views with an average view duration of 32 seconds.
Phew.
Right.
Phew.
We're pumping those big numbers now. Listen, GW are sure to see this and immediately send us all new codexes.
Yeah, of course.
I have zero doubt.
No doubt whatsoever. So, chat, tell us, what are you working on? I'm fully banking on those 3 people hanging in there for longer than 20
It's
seconds.
42 seconds now, mate.
Oof! Getting there, getting there.
Or maybe that's just the average view duration. Maybe some people just decided to... Oh, we got one concurrent viewer? Oh, God, pumping out those big numbers. Pumping out those big numbers. CJ, how's the terrain coming on? We got CJ in the chat from DTT, Dutch Tournament Terrain, yeah?
Yep. He's working on something new, isn't he?
I think so. I don't know if we can talk about it, so I'm not gonna bring that up. But if he wants to say something, he can say it in the chat. If not, hey ho, we'll just move on. CSM bandwagon, yeah. Vakoyan also painting up some Chosen. I'm just building mine. I'll paint mine eventually.
Some point.
Some point, one of these days.
One of these days, they'll get some contrast.
Yeah. Oh, contrast.
Contrast.
GW, please sponsor us and send me more contrast Talisar blue.
The only thing Chris needs in his life.
Sorry, Talisar blue and
Agrax.
Agrax.
No, you just get the one color, Chris.
Oh.
You just get the one color.
Well, then Talisar blue for me, please.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's all already out there, so free to talk about. Yeah, so CJ, DTT are in collaboration with WTC to produce WTC terrain. Pretty sweet.
And you can get your set at some point in the near future.
Definitely.
Not sure when that will be, but keep an eye out on his Insta and Facebook.
Very much looking forward to getting my set.
Samesies.
Monotone is a style on its own. You're damn right. So, how are we feeling about our first stream back in almost? Oh God, it's been what, 3 months?
July 11th. So
Almost 3 months to
almost
the day.
3 months to the day. Yeah. Um, it's good to be back, man. I
It
mean,
is.
as we already mentioned, we're also just kind of getting back into the groove. So this has been very unstructured, just a banter session, whilst we
Yeah,
do some hobbying on the side, I suppose.
yeah. I think just
Uh,
ease everyone back into it. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Getting
yeah, yeah.
people, allowing people to get used to our beautiful faces again, and your rich and lovely voice.
Yes.
Mm,
Yeah. But no, I think the plan is to do this regularly, Monday evenings.
yeah,
Um,
Monday evenings. We're looking at a bi-weekly sort of schedule
yeah,
if our plans hold up, which they usually do.
always. Never a
Always.
single technical difficulty has happened on this stream at all.
Nope. Nope.
Nope.
And life never gets in the way.
Nope.
It
Nope.
only finds a way.
Life finds a way. Oh. I watched a cool Netflix show about UFOs the other day.
Oh,
Yeah.
what was it called?
Can't remember.
Oh,
The
that's great. Thanks for
the
this little nugget of information.
the government came by and just wiped my memory of it. So
Oh, was it the government, was it?
it was the government.
Mm,
Definitely wasn't the other substances imbibed that weekend.
mm,
Mm.
mm. So, okay, you've watched the show about UFOs.
Yeah. Do you know what else I watched?
The Office?
Yeah, watching The Office.
Cool.
No, I like. I've also been trying to catch up on a lot of 40k since, as we said, since the data slate dropped. Big changes everywhere. That it's just hard to keep track of the meta. You know,
It is.
hard to keep track of the meta because we're seeing.
How
Go on.
do you keep track of the meta?
Well, it's difficult because the meta for teams is obviously slightly different for the meta at singles, and the meta for singles you can keep track of by various ways. There's some guys, Stat Check, that run a cool podcast. I tend to listen to them regularly. They do a bit on teams, a bit on the meta. They have a meta dashboard, and that's a good way to keep track of it, of the global meta, shall we say.
Right.
Um, the local meta is a lot more difficult because it varies from tournament to tournament. Um, but typically, GK, Space Marines, Imperium in general are actually quite popular factions here in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
So when Imperial factions are doing well, you tend to see a lot more of them. Like we were saying before, almost everyone has a Custodes army. There's loads of Space Marines. For some reason, Grey Knights, even though Drago is dumb. I know Yort's not watching, but Drago still sucks.
Definitely does.
Definitely does. Well, that's the. I just tend to go by the global meta and then come up
Yeah.
against somebody with something that I've never seen before locally and just get crushed.
Get crushed.
Mm.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mm.
Yeah, but as we said, we're looking to get this into sort of a bi-weekly thing, so
Oh
that
yeah.
will keep you guys up to date on the local meta.
Thomas Vercoin says, "Would you like to have the stats for all played factions since the start of 10th? Dutch meta. I mean, yeah,
Sure. I mean,
definitely.
I don't
That
think
sounds.
we'll cover it tonight,
I
but
mean, I don't have time. Could you send them over about an hour ago?
that'd be super helpful.
That'd be great. Yep, that'd be great. But yeah, I mean, we could look at doing some sort of meta analysis. That'd be quite fun.
Yep.
Nothing too strenuous, I think. But
If
go on.
if you at home listening have any cool topics that you'd like to hear about, let us know on the socials.
Yeah, because I think, as you were saying, we plan on being live on the YouTubes every Monday from 8 p.m.
Not every Monday.
Every other Monday
Every other Monday.
from 8 p.m. With zero technical difficulties and chat definitely enabled.
Oh yeah,
100%.
sure. For sure.
For sure. So yeah, get your questions ready. We have a Discord, which you can get into for free currently because we don't know how Patreon works. So yeah, get your questions in there. If you have any interest in Teams formats, so you want to talk about Teams, team comp, how it works, we could run episodes on that. Our team, Amsterdam Wargaming, did fairly well at the Alliance Open Teams tournament recently.
Yep, came in second
until we lost.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I blame you for that, Ruben.
Oh yeah, so do I. That's
100%.
fine. You should always blame me.
We were right up there until you lost that game to whoever you played.
Tyranids.
You played against Tyranids and lost.
Yeah, and I lost.
Oh, lame.
Been crying myself to sleep for the past 2 weeks.
Have you?
Yeah, of course.
How's that been going?
Oh, my bed's all wet. But other than that, it's fine.
It's alright. Yeah, no, nothing too out of the ordinary then.
No. It's either that or the pee, so
Yeah.
Good, doing all right. So,
but yeah, next week, as I say, as we've been saying, next time we'll be a lot more structured. We'll have actual topics. We'll go over things properly. We'll go over things in more detail. What we're planning to do, what the future holds, the Dutch meta, the WTC team, the many faces that Ruben can pull.
It's quite a lot.
It's quite a lot.
Yeah. You send in the faces you want to see, and I probably won't be able to make them.
We will try though.
We'll try.
And if we know a little bit more about the meta by then, we'll see. But yeah, Tower doing well. So if you've got a Tower army, dust it off the shelf.
Paint it white with 3 colors on it, just like Joseph.
Literally the best way. The only way to paint is 3 color minimum. Fight me. Anything else is gatekeeping the hobby.
You know, I won't fight you because I'll lose, but I'll disagree with you.
Well, that's sad.
All right, I think we should wrap up.
Yeah, we've been rambling on a little bit more. As we say, tune in 2 weeks for a definitely more organized, planned regime. If you have questions, drop them on our Amsterdam Wargaming Discord. If you like what we're saying, like and share and subscribe. If you don't like what we're saying, like, share and subscribe.
Yep.
Tell your friends, tell your mum.
Definitely tell your mums.
Yeah. I think that's it. Anything else you want to add, Ruben?
No. I've been. What you gave me a great nickname just about an hour and a half ago.
The Rubinator.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I've been the Rubinator. You've been the Panda. We've been part of Amsterdam Wargaming. And we'll be back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks. You have to press the button to cancel or end the stream, Chris.
Oh yeah, I'm doing it, aren't I? Yeah.
No technical difficulties
whatsoever. All right. If you want to hear more about NIDS, CJ, in 2 weeks' time, Ruben is going to have a veritable essay written on the NIDS, on what's working, on Harvester Stampede, on
Spore Mines,
Crusher Swarm,
Spore Mines,
on Nexus Invasion,
Spore Mines,
all that stuff. We'll go over it in detail. Because I think we have a few different viewpoints on what's good.
Yep.
All right. I've been the Panda.
We've done this. We've done this. Just press the button.
You've been the Ruminator.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.